impress others in the form of imparting some lecture, how to imbibe into the others, thinking that he will be motivating us in the aspect of enhancing research skills. Now I request Dr. Jai Raghavendra Rao ji to go ahead with his presentation. Over to Dr. Rao.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir. Am I audible, sir? Am I audible,
Sir,
sir?
am I audible?
Am I audible, sir? Unmute, okay. Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, sir. Please
okay.
go ahead.
No, are you able to see my slides?
Yes, sir. First slide is ready.
Okay,
yes.
Right. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this session, Enhancing Research Skills. Already people told you I started my career in ARS 1990, 20 years I worked at NAM, and before that my career started at IAHR, many of you know, and even before that I was a Grameen Bank manager, Vijaya Bank field officer, and then I worked in the Department of Agriculture. And anyway, coming directly to the topic, okay, we'll how the research skills that we enhance. People may refer the Elsevier and then NAS rating and a lot of publications, and whether all those publications are really worth for the Indian farmers to increase his income. We'll quickly have a look at it. And I'm not very critical about things, and I'm not even telling that things are relevant or irrelevant. Look at how things change. You see, now there are a few characteristics, and half an hour time is given to me. See, I had a small TV like this with an antenna in 1995, and in 1998, just exactly after some 11-12 years, we had this dish cable people going all around, and that's how technology changed. And definitely, if you see even our research also vis-a-vis compared. So people are simply going by the academic value. There are two values of a research skill. One is the academic value and the other one is the social value, and definitely can it give an economic value. This is what people, even farmers do a lot of research, but they might not have a publication, but definitely there's a lot of value which gets accrued. So recently I told I was in Ratnagiri, I was in a place called Dhule and all that. See, some technologies move on its own. For example, Arka Rakshak was moving from 2013 onwards. It's simply catching like wildfire. So many times the extension guys may not be required unless here and there. So similarly, you see in 2008 we got the set-top box issues, and then we see only the internet and the TV. And I purchased the Chromecast way back in 2015. And right now I have an Android TV. So that is how, this is the technology refinements which take place, and today everything is integrated, and then you just see a particular internet TV. Okay, no longer these cables and hassles and things like that. Okay, now some of the characteristics of enhancing the research skills, you be in whatever level you are. See, there are scientists that are of two types. I have seen in my 32 years of service, some scientists are highly efficient. They have a lot of publications. Okay, they even may get things, but some people are very effective. It may be a breeder, it may be an extension scientist, whatever. So why are some people very effective and why are some people very efficient? Whether efficiency and effectiveness go together. So I am not very sure about it, and since only half an hour time is given, your research should definitely enhance the effectiveness part of it. You see, from the past 1 year, how people were running here and there, helter-skelter to get the corona vaccine. You have a Covax, you have a COVID-19 vaccine, you have many variants of it. People, that was the urgency part of it, which I have covered in this bullet point 2. So what is our urgency from the agriculture research point of view is definitely farmers' income. I don't believe when you go to the last point, the generalization part, whether your research can be generalized. I am even today of the opinion that higher yield does not give higher income, especially in cases like tomatoes and all that. When higher yield is there, there is a glut there. So unless you put something on the shelf life part of it, the value chain, and then unless you put something on the handling part, say, and it if it is not resistant to the long distance transport, so these things should be integrated in our particular research issues. So it is not just breeder doing breeding alone and the post-harvest person doing post-harvest alone. All things getting integrated, and then you make an enterprise out of it. So then our research becomes meaningful. That means our backing of the research, somewhere, our skills are still there. See, that's why, when the NIAP came into the picture, okay, we had a lot of TBIs, BPDs coming all over all the institute. That simply was, in the NATP we focused only on the technology, and even earlier to that in the NARP we just came with the 126 research zones. And then, from the production focus, today we have got the market focus. Today we have got the commercial value of a technology. So a science and research should become technologies, and this is where the striving of a researcher should do. See, that's called end-to-end solution. It is not giving a science for science part of it. So definitely when we say the problem has to be addressed, for example, the burning problems like tomato leaf curl virus, many things, these are the urgent problems. From the past 1 year, everybody was talking about corona, both from the social media to research to everything. Then urgency is about farmers' income. See, even today we talk of 282 million tons and 313 million tons in horticulture, but where is the income? I am not seeing the income increasing, but only the yields are increasing. So don't think that the income increase should come only by agriculture economic scientists and the extension scientists. We are all a part of it. Then obviously the importance part is the national food and the nutrition security, which are then the relevance part of it. So these are some of the very urgent skills required by scientists, apart from becoming the senior scientist, principal scientist, and so on. And that is the career part of it. So there is a very $1 million question, whether are we looking at the career of the scientists and the productivity of the scientists for the research productivity per se, or is it that we would like to be effective scientists for the farmers or the clients whom we are working, and we are serving whose interest. So we'll quickly go ahead one by one. So obviously many of you know that critical thinking is what you do at a mental level, but we wish that the research skills should emphasize more on the problem solving part of it, and obviously a thorough analysis and the dissemination part where I work in extension and my economics friend. So it is here all your BPD, packing the technology, commercializing it, and then getting the economic value of it. So these are some of the important issues. And then you see how the things are getting changed. See, this was the old one and this is the new technology refined. See, this is how the agriculture has changed too. I'll be showing you some photographs. See, today we talk of the protected cultivation, the greenhouse, and so on. So high value agriculture. We are no longer doing the sustaining agriculture. Okay, we say, okay, let somebody do sustenance agriculture, but today everybody wishes to increase the income. He cannot increase his income unless he becomes commercial and has a market-led sort of a research skill. So you see why the private companies fare so badly, because you are fired. If you do not get a variety, or if you do not get a technology which is going to sell like hot cakes, and just not for the IRC purpose. People many times the research is only done for IRC purpose and saving our skins. So I quickly continue. Look at some of how the technology refinement should take place. I was just using some of these slides even at now. You see, the famous Narasimha. He was the first ever genetically engineered lion. That's why it's called Nara and Simha. Okay. And then look at, I'll show you some of the Monsanto things. You will be very wonderstruck. So they say crops and animals developed from other organisms. It is not too far when you're going to have a pig genes. Why should we have pig genes? I'm just asking you. Because pig, we used to call it a porcine. It is very highly insulin producer, efficient. It will not get diabetes like you and me. And then that's why, if you somehow insert that gene, okay, we today talk about the stem cell transplant and so on and so forth. So I wish that this sort of things is going to come. And when you have this diabetic avoiding technology, I think this is how the future is going to be. A pig, is transplanted on the human thing. Of course, it may look like a mythology, but these things are not far off. So these were urgent need. Today, 65% suffer from diabetes and things like that. Even agriculture, especially, there is no income. The income increase is not there, but the yield increase is there. I'm sorry. Hello? I'm in a class. So that is how the technologies must become effective. You see how the mobile computing from the 2G, 3G, 4G to 5G have come. All technologies are getting integrated. This is how the value addition should take place in technologies, not this departmentalization of research. See, if you go to the US, somebody was telling on the WhatsApp a few days back, see, why should education be so compartmentalized? And, people who do nursing have gone into pharmacology. Or, there was one professor He was my BSc classmate. This fellow he's called C.K. Parthasarthi. He passed off recently. So he had done a PhD in soil science, but later on he picked up something in US and he was a professor of pharmacology. I don't know how soil science and pharmacology are related. So that means the compartmentalization of research has to be removed, and then you should think of the integrated solutions, how we can make the research effective and not just efficient. So I think this is where we strike, and I think you see all these technology refinements which have come. How is the old and the new which is going to take place, and a lot of solar energy getting harnessed, okay. And look at some of these indigenous things. I think CIE Bhopal, our agri engineering institute, may be coming out with some of this technology. You see, and all these are already there. Okay, how they have integrated, and look at this small tractor fitted with this. Of course, this was shown in a movie, some movies like Three Idiots and all that, and people are also integrating many technologies and superimposing one on another, and then trying to bring an IT into the research application, do gene editing and so on. So this is how the research skills are definitely getting enhanced. I'm not saying the present researchers have to really learn from this class and enhance the research skill, but these are some of the tips to say that out-of-box thinking is definitely required. So, we need not compartmentalize and say that he is an extension scientist, so he should not be here, and I'm just come from the marker-assisted genes and so on. Okay, so now we see a lot of this small and big, people do also, and this, the IoT is one area where, this research skill, see, a lot of sensors can avoid someone. I'm not saying don't go to the field, but you can definitely collect your data and observation using IoT, and this should become a part of your RPP1 or whatever. And then you should try to integrate rather than simply depending on the observational skills of the researcher. See, researcher definitely has a lot of observation skills when the synthesis can take place, when you have to actually put the bag and emasculate and so on. So, but definitely even IoT help also can be integrated into research. This is one skill you can definitely do. See, a lot of sensors going on, especially soil moisture, or especially even your synthesis time you can think of, or I don't know whether you will do that. So these are some of the new skills which you can think of. Okay, these are some of the new equipments. Of course, we have also come with our ARCA tricycle. Many technologies are there in IAHR too, and we should be very proud that, I have come back to IAHR after a gap of 20 years. This IAHR is totally new, different, and really thinking out of the box, and congratulations to all my fellow scientists. So especially I told you, all the data is getting captured through, even drones are used these days, and then a lot of data getting collected. Okay, now let us see some of the scientific publications. China is the leader. This was shared in WhatsApp very recently. United States stands second. India is third. Of course, I am not talking about the predatory journals and journals for journal's sake, and do it. And then look at this. Even the investments also very high. The R&D investments coming. Okay. So research is what everybody else has seen, and to think what nobody else has thought. So this is where, that inspiration, perspiration issues are also coming. So out of box. Okay, see, 1 year, when this corona research was going on, I was just keeping a track of all these things. Similar thing happened during the World War II, when Hitler, gave a lot of threat to all the people. For example, the Haber's process, where, it is used today to produce urea, NH2CO, NH2A. Okay, actually, that research was done to, use the gas chambers and release ammonia and kill the so-called Jews. That research was actually found out for that. And similarly, people tell about the Viagra research also, which was used for something, for the heart patient. They started that research and it was used for something else. Sometimes our research outputs cannot be predicted, and I think to fair an extent, we should have that where our research consequences could really go, and especially in a place like India, which is about 640 million hectares and 638,000 villages in this country, with so diverse sort of things. whether the income can be really tackled by the scientists. So today, if somebody talks about income-oriented research, they say it is only the job of agriculture economics or agriculture extension guys. He has to make an FPO, go here and there. But I am not of that opinion. I think even at an RPP one stage, at the conceptualization part of the research itself, whether, this economic feasibility. Now, when we write a DPR, the detailed project report, we always talk about technical feasibility, the economic feasibility, the social acceptability, and many issues. So why not build all these things also as a part of our IRCs? I think this is definitely also there, and many times I keep seeing in our IRCs also people comment, what is the real value of this? If you invest so much, whether the farmer will get income? There were really heated arguments also in IRC, and thanks to all the people, they have been thinking on these lines. So obviously, you already know how the research cycle is there, and zeroing on a correct problem actually is the very big crux of it. People actually only get borrowed ideas and not thinking out of the box. And today, internet has played both a positive game and as well as a negative game. So many times, when we do review of literature, say, suppose you are a researcher, in the review of literature itself, your half creativity is, I think, killed, because you already know what is the line of work and what future line has to be done, and that's going to become your research project. But some people may have very less review of literature, maybe one or two just reviews which are very, very current, and definitely the research projects floated on those lines also have made success. See, of course, when a farmer does it, and I keep seeing a lot of farmers also doing small innovations even in their fields. See, it is the innovation is arising out of the need and not just definitely the methodological part of it. Definitely the researcher today in our ICR system is more a methodical person. He is a trained researcher. He is trained to think, he is trained to act, and he is trained to execute. But definitely the out-of-box thing comes, after a review of literature. If, somebody does a Padayatra or a participatory rural appraisal across the villages of this country, wherever is hotspots, people are doing. That's another way how your skill can be improved. Many researchers also go, especially when they go for germplasm collection, and then they are also seeing a lot of problems, especially our ACRIP trials. They have got a lot of data. They also keep going. So this is how you can enhance your research skills and definitely make the best out of it. I think time is running short. I'll quickly run through many of these things. So how to make I think I have on that 15 minutes to go. So at the definition, conceptualizing stage, so we have to discuss a lot. See, in my opinion, many times, before, I think even earlier also, before a RPP 1 is finalized, not only review of literature, we have to sitting and have a brainstorming session with the PIs and co-PIs. See, PIs and co-PIs, I am not criticizing them, they are very good. So, but they should not come only at the time of signing the RPPs. So, many times when the IRC is under 2-3 days, so they very rushingly our PIs and our co-PIs will come. Sir, did you write the RPP too? Yes, I have written. Sir, I want to sign. No, you don't be in a hurry to sign. But before finalizing the RPP2, did you really come and discuss? So the definition, it can clarifying all these issues all to take. Okay. And then also, when we write not only RPP2s, but whatever it is, when we write it, have we really taken the facts of what has happened in the present context and where our research stands? So it is a self-comparison of our own self. And, even when we publish a paper also, what we do is, this is how other researchers told and I did it like that. But such things are done many times. I think we are still inside the box thinking part of it. So today, of course, WhatsApp has lost its privacy. So we are moving to Telegram and other ones, Signal. But definitely they are also giving a lot of insights, and our research can definitely be enhanced by using even this sort of social media. Okay, then selecting which resources to be used, and discussion with some experts. Many times discussion will help. And today, if you just have a chat with one of your senior colleagues who is very critical, like Socrates said, the uncriticized life is not worth living. So you go to your actual, who are your contenders and enemies, and discuss with them. They will be giving you the best insights, and that is one of the research skills, to select the things. and make some few presentations here and there. Even before the IRC is there, of course, that should be a formal presentation. But we have division IRCs, all those things are there. But still more teeth should be given, in NARM, I used to run a lunch group. We were about 6 fellows from across disciplines. There was an economist, there is a dairy technologist in that, there was a fisheries guy, and there was a statistician. Oh my God, we were not having lunch, but just beating each other and, thrashing it out. So people used to say that in VK Rao's room, the pre-IRC is going on. So at 2 o'clock, the IRC will be there, and then that's how people will present. So the more you present, the more you get criticized. So sometimes, you can even discuss some of our issues, not only with the so-called scientists, even other people also can give some insights. I think that's one skill we'll pick up. So assessing our own self-criticism. See, whenever there is a class or something, previous night, don't we think that what are the things to be told today? So I think this sort of dreaming also helps. So dreaming is one important skill. It cannot be trained or taught, but you switch off the TV and that idiot box and then start dreaming. Simply close your eyes and think what can be done. So that's another skill. We can do it. Okay. So people say research is a formalized curiosity. It is poking and prying with a purpose. So every time when we float a new project, there are 2 types of projects. One is just for the survival, the IRC part of it and drawing the salaries. The other one is really I should do something. Okay, and then, even this publication parts also, I keep seeing the same tables have been transposed from the x-axis to y-axis, and same content coming again and again, because I am a reviewer of 2-3 journals. So this is what we see. But, sometimes popular articles are very good. I can tell you, popular articles, if you see some Kurukshetra and out of box thinking, I'll give some examples. You see the new farm bills. I was just sharing. I'll give you some examples. See now, suppose I am an extension scientist now. Okay, maybe in your discipline you can also think. See, what is the new topic? That this farm bills thing was actually, it was boggling our brains for quite some time, about 2-3 months. So what are the subtopics in that? Why people want MSP? Okay, why they want protection? Why do they want input subsidy? I wrote an article for Times of India. I wrote for the newspaper. So every day, this chatting also used to go on in social media. So somehow then one day people said, why don't you write an article for the Times of India or the newspaper? So then I said, sir, I was only chatting in the social media about this topic. See, whether you are for or against, but what is required is a critical thinking why this is getting opposed. So finally, I divided into subtopics, and then many issues came out to my mind. I may be half right or half wrong. That is left to the people who read those papers can judge it. But I was seriously thinking about it with all my 30 years of service. Why are people protesting? So I can just share some of these things. Especially the farmers who are protected. I am not going to name the states because this is a general lecture which is going on. I can only give you illustrations at an ad nauseum level. You can take the spirit of it rather. So now, see, people are protected both at the input subsidy front and at the National Food Security Mission when their produce are getting procured at an MSP. See, now when some states are having 80% and so surplus, so what are we going to, how much of rice and wheat can you do? Okay, even if you do all the value addition and all our PhD scientists, but how much of papads or how much of different type of chapatis can you eat? You require a diversification in agriculture, which is really not happening. And very high value crops, you can take dragon fruit about 250 rupees. So like that, there are hundreds of examples. But people are afraid to diversify. People want to go in the comfort zone. Okay, even we, suppose, tomorrow if our central government jobs are removed, okay, after 2003 there is no pension. So, has it given some vibrancy? So, should we really face the market forces? Okay, if people do not want to face the market forces, how long are you going to do the handholding? Or is there a transition time? These are all some of the research issues which came to me when I wrote this particular Farm Bills 2020 paper. So similarly, in your own subjects, what goes into the commercialization? Okay, your IRC is over, your RPP 3 or 4 is submitted. What next? So whether it can be commercialized, whether the BPD is going to pick up that idea, and who are those startups and stand-ups? Rightly our National Horticulture Fair has got this team this time. So how to make it an enterprise was the last year theme. So can I pack my technology? See, a lot of things come for this cocoa peat production, soilless cultivation. We did some programs here and there. But let me tell you, especially in urban horticulture and all, a lot of demand is there. But we do not know how to really take it on a very commercial scale. See, we are only doing transfer of technology and the research is in place. But how to commercialize is another big ball game, for which some more management research has to be done. I think these sort of management research and commercialization of a technology part of it, I think some more research has to go, not only from one institute, but definitely all institutes where you have a BPD in place, you have a TBI in place, and then you have that startups, you have the accelerators in place. So all these things can definitely take place. That's why, today every institute has got this TBI and BPD integrated into them. And we have to take definitely more advantage. These are the new issues which have come in the NIP program. And once when a TBI or a BPD is there, I think they are the right people. Along with them, we can also work, and every of our technology or every of our research should be in the view of commercialization and people getting an economic value out of it. So I think this is where we have to really focus. These are some of the new skills. See, otherwise people know how to do a review of literature, write an RPP1 very quickly and publish the paper. Even publication, it will take a lot of time and energy, and you have to revise it hundreds of times. And see, I am telling you two issues. I am a reviewer, and I am definitely I'm a reviewer for the Indian Journal of Extension Education. So what is that a reviewer is looking? So we are not just looking at the results, but especially his even the methodology. Definitely a researcher will have written a good methodology, but what we see is the discussion part of it in the research paper, whether he has put some relevance to the current problems which is there, and whether this research paper or the research note is going in that direction. This is what we see as a reviewer. And then otherwise we have asked those people to resubmit, redo the whole thing. And many times there were cases, even many times we have rejected these papers also. So I think these are some of the important skills. I'll tell you again back, the relevancy is number one, the urgency is number two, and obviously the income. Today we talk about RKVY Raftar. What is that when an RKVY gives you a project, what are the research skills? Remunerative. Raftar means rapid remunerative approaches for agriculture. Obviously in RKVY we have 6% growth is a must, but definitely if there is no remuneration coming, okay, whether it is Kshamata, Nari or whatever, Nari, the nutritive sensitive agriculture. So because people are, malnutrition is there. So therefore your research should center on nutrition sensitive. Why the probiotic has come? So obviously because of some of these nutri-sensitive issues which are coming. And obviously when I say Raftar, without remuneration, who is going to do any sort of thing? In Telugu there was a saying, Kshanam tirika ledu, damudi adayam ledu. That means, there's no point in working like a donkey. At the end of the day, you don't get anything. People will become frustrated. See, even when your DAs were frozen last year, so there were some heartburns, and maybe it's going to be revived next year. So like that, a research also, unless it gives a remunerative approach and it is focused on that, simply saying high yield. But I would say, for example, I'll give you an example of tomato. Of course, my tomato breeders would correct me. This is purely from the extension side. The Kharif tomato will always give very high yields, very good yields, and the glut is there at the end of Kharif. In a Rabi, you get the bacterial blight. Again, a little yield is reduced. Okay, and the harvest comes somewhere around Sankranti. Okay, fine. But now look at the summer tomato. It is heavily affected by TLCV, tomato leaf curl virus, but still, the production is very less, no glut, but you get very high prices. That means in summer we end up eating those viral affected tomatoes. But the farmer is happy because he gets a higher price. So therefore, how to this vicious circle and the virtuous circle. How to remove this glut sort of situation? I keep challenging my agri-economics friends also. Can you avoid glut? Can you characterize glut? This is the research is required. So we are all statisticians, all put together. Can you do some stochastic modeling? Dr. Venugopal is here. Every time when I discuss with him, his class is the next class. Can you predict a glut sort of situation? Or can you do crop zoning? Or can you do crop colonies? See, today with the IT and the infrastructure, we have the database management. For every survey number, definitely we can give a package of practice along with the prescribed crops for Kharif, Rabi and summer. Is it really out of place? And if this sort of a research, if somebody does from the Modipuram, the Cropping Pattern Institute, and say that this particular Kharif season, Mr. Farmer Yogesh Yadav with survey number 1-7-4 is going to grow only this. Definitely, I think this should solve the problems like glut and people standing on the Bakshi border and then asking for MSPs, whether it is political or apolitical. I am not talking about those issues. So the question of MSP and asking for support itself should not come. See, like children, research should be so sound that the children should not ask for hand-holding till they die. It's only, in America it's just 18 years. But in India, I see even people with 30 years, 35 years still coming back to the parents, asking for property, asking them to get married. It's all right as a courtesy part. But how long can we do hand-holding? When are you going to become independent? So a research finding, the research skill should produce such research results which are going to empower the people, which are going to give them income and which can definitely do the hand holding. Otherwise, science with the human face, as rightly said, and as Einstein said, okay, science without religion and religion without science. See, we are not talking about religion, but if the human face and the income is not approached through our research projects, I think we have failed somewhere over there. So, ladies and gentlemen, I sincerely thank all my people for giving me this opportunity. I am definitely not here to criticize and say that the research is not going on the right lines. Scientifically, very good. It is going on the very right lines. And, especially when I see all our IRCs, it is a feast to watch people coming with so many technical concepts and all that. But somewhere down the line, the integration of marketing, the integration of remuneration, the integration of income, and theories like glut, MSP, and all these things, I think this is where we have to really do some modeling, and then I should do some resource smoothing, and then avoid this sort of glut situations and help farmers and all our clients to make a reasonably good income, if not double the income. So thank you very much, friends. The session is closed and it's open for discussion. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for your scintillating lecture on this enhancing skills of research, for focusing on integrated approach within different disciplines and enhanced returns, whatever may be the problem identified by